Hello, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Pink Sheet, Scrip and in Vivo. We're here at the Biotech Showcase 2018 in San Francisco, a meeting that runs parallel with the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference, the traditional kickoff for the pharmaceutical industry, and also those who are interested in getting engaged with them, such as biotech companies, investors, etc. I'm joined by John Beadle, who's the CEO of an Oxford-based company called PsiOxus Therapeutics. So, John, thanks for joining us. You had a pretty busy 2017, which I think sort of culminated at the end of the year with some sort of pretty important news around the program you had with Bristol-Myers. Could you share with us what the sort of the highlights of that announcement was?
We had another excellent end to the year. So end of 2016, we signed the deal with Bristol-Myers Squibb. It was $50 million up front, $950 million in total milestones. It took us almost exactly 12 months to get that program into the clinic with BMS, and we earned our first milestone on that program. So that was $15 million payment. So it was an excellent end to the year, and more importantly, that's the first of our gene therapy for cancer programs to enter the clinic.
Yeah. So you sort of say it took 12 months. Was that the expectation, or?
Absolutely, that was actually slightly faster than expectation. That it was our job to get that to IND. Which we did, and BMS have taken that program forwards.
Okay, so could you recap the sort of the details of the original deal and what it involves?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I say, this was our first gene therapy for cancer product. So it's a virus that replicates only within tumor, and we've armed that up with two genes that will express ligands on the tumor surface. It's basically the mirror image of the CAR T approach. Right. So rather than modifying T cells to interact with tumor cells, we're modifying tumor cells to interact with T cells. Right. It's a very exciting program for us.
So you've handed that over. So Bristol-Myers is now sort of moving that forward. So what's going to concentrate your minds as we go?
So we're very busy now moving the rest of our portfolio forwards. We've got 2 INDs pending for this year. And 2 more scheduled for 2019. So we're really pushing forwards on the gene therapy for cancer programs.
Right. And what's the sort of the partnership positions of those programs?
So those are all still fully owned by ourselves, and we will retain rights to at least 2 of those programs going forwards. But we are working on partnerships for 1 or 2 of the others.
Right. So could you sort of describe, what those programs that involve?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got a program called 350A, which is a virus that encodes a full-length monoclonal antibody. So we force the tumor to produce the monoclonal antibody within the tumor. The whole idea is that then you get high concentrations within the tumor with very low systemic exposure. So you get a better therapeutic window.
And what's the monoclonal targeting?
We're actually not disclosing that at this stage. It's an activating immuno-oncology monoclonal antibody, but we're not disclosing the target.
Right. Okay. And what sort of proof of principle or concept have you got?
So we've demonstrated in animals that we can deliver the virus intravenously. It will go to tumors, replicate within tumors and not within normal cells, and produce high concentrations of antibody that's fully functional within the tumor.
Right, and I mean, monoclonals are normally very, very sort of targeted, very specific.
It is a very targeted.
So is it to one type of tumor?
It's an immuno-oncology sort of approach, so it will be across a broad range of different tumor types.
Okay. So that's the first program. And you're sort of saying that you've registered for an IND.
We will deliver an IND within the year.
Right. And the other program?
The other program, we have a program called 347, which is actually a STING agonist alternative. But we bypass the STING pathway entirely. So we encode the interferon alpha into the viral DNA, and we drive the production of interferon alpha off of the viral DNA. So we can produce the interferons even in STING-incompetent cells. But again, the key difference being we can deliver intravenously, and avoid having to go with the intratumoral delivery, which all of the other STING agonists have to do.
Okay, so those are your sort of two lead programs. So you sort of said that, you've got 4 programs at the moment?
Yes. Well, we have an unarmed virus in the clinic in collaboration with Bristol-Myers Squibb, combination with Opdivo. That's an ongoing phase 2A study.
How do you make a choice of which assets you're going to retain compared with those that you're going to partner?
That's always an interesting discussion. It's a discussion, obviously, first of all, within the organisation. Where do we see the key value? What is the pathway to commercialization for each individual asset, and then selecting out those assets that are most suited to a smaller biotech, and those that would be better partnered with a larger entity.
Right, but those 2 programs you just described, do you have the sort of capability and capacity to take it all the way?
Well, we're building that capacity. We're building our organisation in Oxford. We've also recently opened an office in Philadelphia, so we're building an organisation, a development organisation in the US as well. We have a healthy financial position at the moment, and certainly the cash from BMS is helping with that as well.
Yeah, sure. Apart from the cash that you get, that you've got from the Bristol-Myers deal, what other support do you either get from Bristol-Myers to help you build PsiOxus Therapeutics, or is that something that, as you go forward, it's part of the new negotiations that you would like people to help you with that?
Yeah, I think certainly the collaboration with BMS is proving very helpful in terms of developing the overall portfolio. So the program that we're running, the combination study with Opdivo, we are jointly funding that program, but we're also jointly participating in terms of the translational medicine that comes out of that program, which is really important. But we'll be looking for that sort of relationship with other partners as we go forwards.
But longer term, I mean, do you see PsiOxus Therapeutics actually developing its own products that you'll commercialize yourselves?
We certainly see ourselves taking these programs, at least a select few of these programs, through development and through pivotal studies, absolutely.
But would you have a commercial arm?
I think that's something that would still to be decided, but certainly taking programs through to registration is something that we're planning to do.
Okay, so the money that you got from Bristol-Myers, has that provided you with enough cash for you to be able to execute on the plans that you have at the moment?
It is sufficient to get us through the next year and a half to 2 years. So we've taken in $75 million from BMS in the last 18 months across those 2 collaborations. We will still need to raise further funds, and we're actively looking at how we will do that.
And what sort of investors are you looking to bring on board?
We're particularly looking for long-term investors, the sort of investors that are willing to support the strategy that we've just described in terms of developing and building an organisation for the long term.
Right. So, is it getting new investment or getting a partner? What's top priority?
It will almost certainly be a combination of both. And here at JP Morgan, I'm doing both of those. I'm meeting with investors and I'm meeting with partners.
Right. Okay, John. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.